And as I was looking at some stuff, and I came online, and it turns out that there's a bunch of people talking about you better protect your license plate too. I'd never really thought about that, but it's like, good grief. And as some people are selling these kits that cost, I don't know, $15, $20, $50 for some special bolts with like a little special tool that you gotta be able to unscrew the bolt. And I'm like, what in the world? It's like, okay, well, I better batten down the hatches, but I'm not sure why I need any special tools when that is the license plate on the back of my car. And on the inside, it's got just these simple bolts that come out, this thing here, and I've already loosened this side up here, like that, okay? And this thing will pop off, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave it in. If I wanted to do it, pop it off, I could. Okay, but I'm gonna leave it in. And I'm gonna take this one off too. Like that. And what I did, now it may be on some cars you've got to use those kits and special screws and whatever because you can't get to it from the inside. But if you can get to it from the inside, why not just go down to the hardware store and buy a couple of bolts, couple of nuts, couple of washers? Spend a couple of bucks doing that. And of course, if they've got some t-shirts on sale for $3 a piece, try your best not to buy too many of those or you'll ring up your bill. But, you know, I'm pretty happy with those carriage bolts, for the price especially. Not spending $15 on some special kit, and those carriage bolts are not going to come off with a screwdriver. Maybe a pry bar or something else, but you know, you're going to have to open the trunk to be easier. And what they're really going to do is they're just going to move on and steal somebody else's license plate. What's wrong with just putting this in and putting the nut on the inside, put a big washer on the inside, so if somebody wants to rip it off, it's going to be harder. Of course, once again, if anybody wants to steal your stuff, they're going to steal your stuff. But you might as well make it as hard for them as possible. So let's see how these go on. So with the license plate removed, that is what that looks like. And I'm going to reinforce, I'm going to put that big washer in there. So I'm going to pop these off. Do I want to pop them off? Okay, there's one. And let's pop the other one off. A big old hole. Look at that big old square. And the main thing is will this bolt fit through here? And actually the bolt part's going to go onto the license plate just like that. And that square part of the carriage bolt goes all the way through. And what I was thinking, and now I'm rethinking it, maybe I don't need the washers, or do I want the washers on the other side? All right, let me figure this out. Okay, so one thing I could do is I could just put the bolt through, so the license plate is on the other side. That's just a carriage bolt, and just sticking it through the hole, if you can see kind of how that works. And I could use my washer up onto that and put a nut on it. But you know what? I kind of like this plastic piece because I think it might protect against the weather. So let me see what I'm going to do about that. The other thing I did is I made sure that these will go into the plastic. It'll go through. So that screws, that'll fit in if I want to get a pair of pliers out and tighten that down. My good old vice grips out here, and I can get a grip on that edge and get it close. I already did this side over here. I'll show you after I get this through, or as far in as I can get it, without trying to booger it up, because you know I want it to look kind of nice. It's not going to look all fancy like some fancy toy car. Okay, but then that goes through enough to where the nut is showing up on that side. And then what I do is I'll put the washer, if you can see, I put the washer and the nut on that side, and then I crank it down, but not too hard. but hard enough that nobody's going to be able to get a grip on that thing right there and pull it out. I mean, I guess they could if they really wanted to, but the object is I'm going to want somebody to just move on to another car. You want to steal plates? Go steal somebody else's plates. So let me get this locked down here, just like that, and then get to turning on this nut. And hopefully get it tight on this side. But the trick is don't booger up the plastic thing. But I like the plastic thing. I think the plastic will kind of keep it from a little bit of rust prevention. Okay, that's really tight. But that way, you know, somebody can't rip this license plate off. So that's on there. And I think that license plate is on there for good, and no mere screwdriver is going to get it off. It's going to take some effort. If they want it, they're going to be able to get it. Of course, they can, you know, take a Sawzall and just cut this all out if they wanted to. But I think what they're going to do is they're going to go steal somebody else's license plates. So that's it from here. Wish people would quit stealing stuff. This is sure a hassle. Talk to you guys later.